Nou, zie je bent fantastisch publiek. Ik kan niet alles zeggen, maar hartelijk applaus voor mezelf. Hartstikke goed.
Hello there and welcome to the CV European Championships. We're in The Hague and the weather is absolutely beautiful as it has been all week. We have had a thrilling competition and it's time for the men's bronze medal matchup between Russia and Spain. Well, the CV European Championship, one of 3 competitions happening here in Zuider Park this week. The other 2, the World Para Volley Championships and the CEV Under-20 indoor competition, are all coming to the end this week. It's finals day here in Zuider Park, and after 2 quite phenomenal semi-finals, it's time to see where the medals are going to go. For Spain, Pablo Herrera, Adrian GAVIRA, well, they lost to the very young and talented Molen Soren from Norway, who will be challenging to become the youngest European champions ever this evening. They lost 2-0, they'll be looking to bounce back. They're impressive against the Swiss challengers Bieler and Kratica. They had a great tournament, Bieler and Kratica taking a 5th earlier on. Against the Spanish, well, we have the Russians. Russia are still looking to win their first ever CEV Men's European Championship. They lost out to Samoilovs and Smedins, who are in fantastic form. 21-15, 21-15 in that semi-final, and they were running the ball around. Semenov really struggled. After leaving the sport to play indoor volleyball in 2016, Semenov, though, with new partner Ilya LESHUKOV, is on the comeback, that's for sure. LESHUKOV in that semi-final matchup really did struggle to gain momentum in his side-out play, where he struggled to really hit any other angle. But the line play building up The Hague, as it has been all week, quite beautiful. We're not at the usual beach centre at The Hague on the coast. We're just a couple of miles inland at Zuider Park. It means that it's not quite as windy as The Hague is renowned for, but we are still feeling certain gusts of wind that comes from the left of your screen to the right throughout this game. It's hard for players to pick themselves up. Disappointment after the semi-finals. The mascot, Spiky, hanging out with Herrera, GAVIRA on the sideline. Maybe Spiky can cheer Herrera, GAVIRA up after such a disappointing performance. 2 losses in a row for GAVIRA and Herrera against Molen Soren. Last week they came second in start, now they're battling for third. We meet our referees for this bronze medal matchup before we get underway.
Bronze medal match starting with Team Spain, wearing number 1, 36 years old. Played his 201 tournaments, Pablo Herrera.
First out, 3-time Olympian. Once a silver medalist with Bosma, Pablo Herrera, now 36 years old, and his younger partner, but they have been together forever. Adrian GAVIRA, 30 years old. They came together, Herrera GAVIRA, in 2009. They have been together more than many marriages. They know each other so well, but their opponents, 22 years old, Ilya LESHUKOV. The Russian program boasts strong young players. LESHUKOV, one of those. And this man, a 4th in Rio 2016, 29 years old, had such a great time with Krasilnikov. Now trying to prove that he's a Russia #1 blocker. The teams change ends before we get going here. And it's an interesting concept. It's going to be a completely different game for Semenov than the game we saw with the Latvians. The Latvians ran the ball wide, they hit the ball on 2, they really made life difficult for Semenov. But GAVIRA will give Semenov more time because they play a much higher set. And he should set himself a lot more. Semenov does get in, he's got so much time, he doesn't fancy blocking that one though, Semenov. LESHUKOV makes it mighty big, sorry. It's just interesting to see, the higher the ball goes outside of the stadium, the more it's just going to pick up gusts of wind. First point to Russia here. Semi-finals taking place just a couple of hours ago. Who's going to bounce back first? HERRERA's getting served inside again, and he just works the ball away from his body so easily. The left-sider, their job really is to try and work the cross-court early on, and the defender has to respect you can hit that one, and they have to step round. So LESHUKOV really now has to think, at least think about sitting around on that sharp ball to get served through the middle as well, and hit the sharp ball is quite some effort. This time, HERRERA goes late in the block. 36 years old now, Pablo HERRERA. 2 in a row. He goes slow the first time. He sees the deceleration in the approach of the spiker. He delays his timing too, so he gets the swat. Second time, he's watching the play. He goes much earlier. Very good line in the block, finishing well into the court. Something that Russia did well at the end of that semi-final was run this wide ball, as they have done here with LESHUKOV. It allows him to snap back on an angle, and off the up and down ball he really did. He loves to come to the line when he's served to the middle on the inside. The wide ball allows him a little bit more room to nurdle the ball on the angle. Out of system here, HERRERA. Again, thumps. Another one. Angle. LESHUKOV equal to it. 3-2 here, Spain. It is completely different, this game, to the two we saw earlier. We saw Anders Mol blocking like a true king of the game. He's only 21 years old, Mol, but he started on the line, would jump into the angle, start on the angle, jump into the line, and HERRERA had a torrid time out there siding out. Semenov might not cause the same level of heat in his block, although he's high, doesn't quite press the same, doesn't make the same shapes in the block. The same way that Anders Mol does. Some crunching blow from LESHUKOV. In system here, HERRERA from the left side. 3 times in a row, and Semenov is frustrated there because they teed that one up. They were still shaking his head. They start blocking line, he jumps into the angle just as Mol did so many times earlier, but he doesn't get the line right. He doesn't get his left hand far enough across the net to take all that space away. There's a bit of a struggle on the net. It's tight, so the block's right in play. Semenov is so high, 6 for 11, so he goes over the top of the block, and now it's the time GAVIRA to go over the top, and then he breaks. It's a poor break. It's slightly sloppy, actually, from GAVIRA. The high standards that he has. Remember, GAVIRA, they won gold in this competition in 2013 in Klagenfurt. HERRERA won gold in Moscow in 2005 with the legend that's Raul Messer. Although HERRERA and GAVIRA seem to be at the forefront of this sport for such a long time, that 2013 win is their only European Championship win. Great seam again. Semenov again says, my bad. He wants to take more space in there when it comes to the seam. He's got long arms. Just goes underneath him. Possibly a net touch as well. Just leaves the seam open so HERRERA can just dictate that one and go through it. Exactly the same service tactic as we saw earlier. More digs this time for Spain. Earlier it was the Latvians. It's the same angle. It's a serve from the sideline to the right hand of LESHUKOV. And again, it takes away the hard hit cross. Might see it again here. HERRERA. Like I said, trying to go deep, trying to take the sharp angle out the game. It's a wonderful swing. He does really well there. And what's different here is that he's passed with a little bit more height. So he's managed to get his feet out. He's got more time to get his feet out, point them cross court, and then work off the body. He wasn't quite making those angles in the semi-final. Was getting stuck in that position, passing very quick. To the outside again, Herrera. Same as what we saw earlier, doing exactly the same. It's a battle, it's almost like a game of chess at the moment. Serving inside and seeing if the left-sided spiker can create space with their feet to get out and then come back and get their feet to the ball again. If they do it well, it opens up the whole court for them and it makes it very difficult. The defense, Sasha Haya, I remember being a very good left-sided player at that, moving the feet out and managing to, oh, some dig that is. Semenov does well to react, so Semenov from the right side goes and tries to rip one. But there's a massive Spanish blocking GAVIRA in the way. He must lose some height here, Semenov. Jumping into the angle very late. Nice blocking from GAVIRA. It's a step. Big blockers can just start on the line and then shift their arms to take the cross court. GAVIRA has to take a little step in there because he just isn't big enough. You lose height when you jump in. And don't move your feet. Oh, 2 in a row this time. Herrera on LESHUKOV. 2 monster blocks in 2 points. Spain change with a 2-point lead. 2 blocks of very big magnitude. Slightly scruffy set from Semenov, but it's a good call. I think they're going to have a little chat about this. Pablo Herrera wants a double touch. It's a great swing on an angle. You can just see that there's a little bit scruffy, the left hand pushing through the ball a little bit more than the right hand, so just come out spinning. It's not spinning that's the problem with the ball on a double touch. It's more of the handling if it goes off one hand and then the other. Nice passing from Herrera. Then use the call. It's tight, and this is everything that Russia want. It's a net touch from Semenov, so it's sloppy. This hasn't really made many blocks all day, Semenov, that have counted. And the problem is when you're 6'11", it's harder to move your limbs. They're so much longer. Say smaller blockers, but smaller blockers at 6'7", 6'8" find it easier to move their limbs. That's 3 blocks in very quick succession. And once again, Russia is struggling to side out here with LESHUKOV. It's just late dive again. And it's GAVIRA. 3 times just jumped straight back into the angle. He's nailed 2 of them. Out of system. GAVIRA challenging. Out the net again, and that's exactly what they're trying to make LESHUKOV do, really. Bring him back to the line, but because he's worked that sharp angle early on, it means Herrera in defense has to stay a bit more honest. LESHUKOV was coming to the line so much in that previous game that Samoilovs could just sit in the seam and wait for the high line. Seam being the middle of the court. Lovely knuckle from Herrera. It's a bit of a jumbo knuckle, really. Steps out well. Has a very good look at the court, and that's what the Spanish are so good at. They play a high ball, but it's because their vision's so good at the court. They can see everything just before they're going to hit the ball. LESHUKOV does side out this time. Krasilnikov and Liamin getting knocked out. First round of knockout games a little bit earlier on this week as Herrera just rips one line. And Krasilnikov and Liamin are not having the best rub of the green, and they're really seen as the Russian #1 team. But with Stoyanovsky, Velechko, the youngest team to win a World Tour gold medal until last week when Molen Soren won in Stad, Maxim Sivalap and Artem Yazutkin have also recorded big results on the World Tour. It's tough to be Russian at the minute. So many teams. Technical timeout. Always after 21 points in this game.
hier aan het einde van de week terecht. Want dit is een fantastisch optreden van het team allemaal Dance Crew. En dan mag u blijven applaudisseren natuurlijk, want ze komen weer terug op het veld. Een applaus voor team Rusland.
Players make their way back onto court.
Viva España!
Ball in the hand of Pablo Herrera. The Spanish team. This is their 9th season together, which, think about how many times American pairs chop and change. Russian pairs are chopping and changing around this great swing, bringing the angle back into the game. It's cross-court swing at the highest caliber. It's very accurate. Body weight's going through the ball, ball's in front of him, the arm comes through. Very nice. Have a partnership that lasts 9 years. Crazy. And to be always at the top of the game as well. You can't remember Herrera GAVIRA ever really leaving the top of the game. That's a bullet of a serve, but it's long. More central serving from LESHUKOV. He's finding his rhythm through there. That's a lovely turn back on a sharp angle. It's not quite as inside or as high as what the Latvians were serving him, so just make it a little bit easier to get out. It takes gives him a little bit more time to move his feet. Touch is lovely from Herrera. Oh, Semenov, welcome to the party. That's the first monster block that we can remember. The Hague and Holland, renowned for being flat, but he is a man-mountain here at 6'11". It's another crunching blow on the block. A little bit more out of system here for Herrera. Frustration for LESHUKOV because he made a good read on that. It was quite a tight set to the net by the looks of it, so LESHUKOV stepped round. Good blocking from Semenov, it's good timing. There's no really hard hit available to the line, no tool available. Semenov did his job, and that's why LESHUKOV was a little bit frustrated. It's a quicker play through the middle. GAVIRA again is really blocking nicely. He's going late, but he's pressing hard, and blocking's about taking time away from the spiker. Not always high, and it's a late dive yet again. Doesn't move his feet that time. It's very much jumping up, showing that he's blocking the line, and then last second, taking the cross-court away. Now you see me, now you don't. That's much calmer. Herrera. And this is what makes Herrera so good. He's delayed his run. He's passed on an angle. He has to approach straight. Looks as if he's going to come to the line, and in the last minute, he shapes it back angle. You can see LESHUKOV thinks the ball's going to the line. Semenov is urging his defender to make a defense, and it's something we have seen before. Semenov with Krasilnikov at times as well. They have quite a fiery relationship. Does get a little bit chewy. She is the size of Chewbacca, I suppose. It's another dive from the Spanish into the angle, leaving the line completely free. Taken from Russia. That's good. Semenov goes on two. And he gets away with it, Semenov. It's a wonderful effort to try and turn and just chop that ball back. He's only ever going to that spot, but he knows that Spain is stacked on the other half of the court, and that's a line tagger. Narrowest of margins, to be honest. 1 point game. Spain seem like they've been in control of this, but it's a leaky pass from Herrera, so it's just a bump over. Very quick play from LESHUKOV. And Semenov, again, is just going crazy at his partner. He's just frustrated. Semenov feels like he's doing everything he can for the team, but LESHUKOV has missed out, and it's not a bad swing. Like, Semenov can't be too disappointed with his partner there. It's a good error. It's a right decision to go on two. Semenov really, his body language is gone. it's not really going to help his partner out. It's exactly the same as what we saw with Krasilnikov at time. That's a diving dig back into play. Wonderful, wonderful swing from GAVIRA, and yet again, frustration for the Russians. It's a great turn. Again, if you're in a fiddle, go deep middle. Works perfectly for Spain, and they're super happy with this 3-point lead. And Semenov is putting all the blame onto his partner at the moment, but actually him being so frustrated is not helping any situation at all. It's probably just adding more pressure onto his partner, to be honest. LESHUKOV does manage to side out. It's a drifting block. GAVIRA diving around all over the place. The more that you dive around, the less likely that your line's going to be perfect. Semenov makes a mistake here. And he is just absolutely spewing. Externally, just not happy whatsoever. LESHUKOV. Semenov with the quickest set wide. Reactions of the highest quality from Pablo HERRERA. He's 36 years old, but age is well and truly just a number as he lands, turns, and makes just quite the beautiful dig, full stretch. Wrist under the ball. LESHUKOV goes into block, leaves the line open. Set points for Spain. LESHUKOV finds a side out, much to the delight of Semenov. He's a demanding partner, isn't he?
Beautiful score, but still set point. Even de bril schoonmaken. Moment gewoon lekker klappen. In of uitluiden. Hoe je wil doen. De set of het set point.
Second set point for Spain. It's been a job well done so far, but they need to finish it. HERRERA serve to the inside again. He's hitting from downtown. It's a super high line. LESHUKOV, outrageously wonderful dig as well. But HERRERA gets yet another block. Semenov has his hands on his hips. He can't quite believe it. But it doesn't matter what Semenov thinks. Spain lead this bronze medal match 1-0. Again, diving late into the angle. He knows everything's facing cross court there, so he knows he's struggling to work it back to the line. Great line in the block. HERRERA, GAVIRA have bounced back very nicely. Let's have a look at some highlights from a very entertaining first set.
Kings and queens of the beach, champions within reach. Let your love shine on, oh, baby. Let your sun shine through. Kings and queens of the beach, oh, yeah. Champions within reach.
Almost time for the second set here in The Hague. It's a beautiful evening here in Zuida Park. 3,000 people expected for these medal matches. And all they're seeing at the moment is the man on the left of your screen, Konstantin Semenov, throwing his toys well and truly out the plan. He's not a happy bunny. They got outclassed by Latvia earlier on today. And the same is happening again here. HERRERA and GAVIRA. There's one team that can stay calm under pressure, and their kit has been through the washing machine so many times. They know every situation of every game, and they can stay calm throughout. LESHUKOV does side out. Semenov is happy.
First one is Russia.
Seems like Semenov's very outcome-led. If they win the point, he's happy. If he loses the point, he's absolutely fuming. problem here. Semenov is saying that Pablo Herrera went underneath the net. He's landed on his foot. Semenov is injured. He's not very happy. Herrera's being a good sport here. Let's hope Konstantin Semenov is okay. It looks as if he went under the net here, Herrera. And just there on the right foot. Semenov goes down very quickly. Everything's okay. That's good news. Semenov. Man from Tokmak, Kyrgyzstan, now living in Smolensk in Russia. 6'11" Semenov. Doesn't quite press as far as he could do there, Semenov. Maybe that's a mental thing. It's great work. He's facing the line again. He hits off the body so well, Herrera. These teams have met once before in the Ostrava 4-star earlier on this year in the FIVB World Tour. GAVIRA won by 2 points in each set, 21-19, 28-26. It's too high there, Semenov. Look at the height difference between GAVIRA and Semenov. It's only when they land that you can see. 6'11" Semenov, GAVIRA 6'4", so it's not like GAVIRA's small by any means, really, but there you go. GAVIRA, a second in Stade, where they lost to the same team they lost to in the semi-finals, Anders Malt. Christian Storm here on fine form. 5th in the Poland 4-star in Warsaw. Great dig. GAVIRA has a good look at the court. He chips and nurdles one to the line, but LESHUKOV is good as well. Balls off the net, but GAVIRA just sits so still, and it's a bit of a rash set that just carries a little bit too close, drifts over, and that's where Semenov is far happier, when the ball's on the net and he can really start to dictate games. Sorry, actually, Semenov was running in to play defense. It's LESHUKOV that was on the net. GAVIRA have beaten Austria, France. The only game they did lose was that semi-final. They beat Nico Biela and Marko Kratiga, who beat Nikolai Lupo this week, the #1 seeds, who have won the last 2. Oh, one-handed scoop. Yeah, the #1 seeds, Nikolai Lupo, who unfortunately aren't in the final 4. They beat Bril and Fidjelek fairly comfortably, 21-19, 21-16 as well. It's been a good week's work, regardless, for Herrera GAVIRA. You're timeless in this sport. 2 balls coming from GAVIRA. And that's a very wise option, because Semenov has to serve, and then he needs to run in to send himself to block. So that 2 ball takes time away from Semenov to get in and create a stable block. To still access the line, hitting on 2 from the right side, is a difficult thing to do. The ball has to come across the body. You have to get your feet to the left of the ball to just allow access from your arm through to the back corner. Lovely work. Semenov is happy because LESHUKOV is starting to use that cross-court swing far better than he did in that last game. It's good setting. It's that wider set as well that it comes across him a bit more, so he finds it easier to turn back. The Russian team beat Poland. Doppler Horst as well, which is a great win. Doppler Horst, 2nd in the World Championships last year in Austria, who got knocked out early on in this competition as well. They lost to France. Joseph Crew and Quincy High. Herrera passing again to the centre. Lines the call with very good defence. LESHUKOV is really upping his game here. He's probably had his confidence knocked in that semi-final, but He's pulling through for Russia here. He's calm, he's just relaxed in defense. Takes a long touch of the ball and then takes a step out to bang the ball on the angle. It's a great start this, 7-3.
Great servers again. Big round there of Team Russia.
Are strong on Herrera. And this is the downfall of Spain today anyway, where Herrera's just struggling with his first contact, and Spain pride themselves on good ball control. They're struggling here. Herrera rips one.
Great score there.
Difference when the ball's slow and high into that area. Herrera has lots of time to kick out and get his feet back through the ball. Semenov on 2, same as we saw previously, and maybe, just maybe, Herrera took his eye off the game here. If he would have seen Semenov, he would have seen his body language. And as a blocker, you don't really want to be watching the ball too much. No, his eyes are fully on Semenov. Semenov is just in a different airspace altogether. Chases on, but Spain are really feeling the pressure here. The ball goes high on Semenov. Hello. The big man does well to keep control of the ball. And then goes ripping to the line. This is a completely different Russian team here. Serving with more conviction. They're putting the Spanish under much more pressure. Point game. LESHUKOV is like a man possessed at the moment for Russia. And in transition, the game moves slower than it does inside out. So you have to be a little bit more patient. Your spike approach gets caught underneath the ball there. LESHUKOV, when you get caught underneath the ball, you can't pull your arm through enough and generate enough top spin or speed to keep the ball on the downward motion. Out of system, Semenov will stay high here. Spain know that LESHUKOV is finding rhythm, so they have to go on Semenov. The problem when you go on Semenov is he's a good 6 inches bigger than anybody else on court, so he just fires high over the block. And you can see the block of Spain trying to go as high as they possibly can. But they're going after Semenov to try and disrupt the pass. As soon as he's out of system or off the net, they have a chance of playing defense. LESHUKOV again, he's so good at reading the game at the moment. Anything tight to the net, or anything that travels over, Semenov will do the rest. GAVIRA goes chasing, but this is Herrera having a bit of a meltdown here. That's a really leaky pass, and 8 points is a long way back, but it's sloppy. He's not tracking the ball. He's getting caught far too high. Yes, it's good serving, but Herrera is an experienced customer, and he does expect more from himself. Strong. Herrera now getting his feet to the ball. Much better from him. It's such a nice swing to face the line and be able to work the ball back. Faded away. Okay. Herrera and GAVIRA are taking their frustration out on the ball, and it's completely and utterly working for them. service is strong again from GAVIRA, who's trying to help his partner out. That's what happens when your team are not passing well enough or siding out well enough. You really have to up your service pressure. We go to a technical timeout, and this game has flipped well and truly on its head. Russia cruising here. Completely different game to what we saw earlier on for both teams, really. It's a better matchup. We'll have a look. Both teams. Pablo Herrera, 36 years old. Struggling to side out. 19 seasons. He's been through everything in those seasons. 201 tournaments, 13 career wins, 6 on the CEV European Tour. But he needs to start finding some rhythm in his pass, create a little bit more time to give himself to get out. Dancers doing a great job here in The Hague as well.
Oh, fantastisch. Blijf opmaken als de hele week. Team on the dance crew.
Nou, er liggen nog wel stokjes in het veld.
Die worden gelukkig weggehaald. U mag de teams weer terug verwelkomen op het veld, dames en heren. Allereerst natuurlijk Team Spanje. En natuurlijk Team Rusland.
Teams are back. Semenov, who's grown through this game. Great swing through the seam again. It's an area Herrera's targeting just past the left hand. He's not scared of getting blocked. Beach volleyball, if you're scared of getting blocked, you should play tennis. You have to try and use that block as your friend, as we saw the Latvians earlier on. This time it's LESHUKOV struggling to pass. He's going to struggle to hit angle here, so he chips the line. That's just because he doesn't get time to get his feet out and back in. His arm can't fade away that well, so it's an easy point for Herrera GAVIRA. They read the game so well. Smaller blocker in at the net. They know fair well that Semenov's playing defense, so as long as you shoot the ball around Semenov, chances are the man who's almost 7 foot tall will struggle to get down and chase a high line. This for the bronze. The gold has all the makings of a classic. The fast shooting, smart playing of Latvia, but back to this game, and Semenov gets another monster block. He really struggled pressing that far over the net in the semi-final and for time in here, but that's a much wider area he's taking. The angle that he's matching up with the spiker is so much better as well. The chip is good, but LESHUKOV is all over it, so another chance to score here. Oh, he's gone with the left, and Herrera just tries to tomahawk that one back, but they're not really interested in the rest of this set at the moment. Spain, they'll be building for the next one already by the looks of it. Short serving. Herrera struggling for rhythm again, but it's a great set from Herrera. From GAVIRA. Wonderful stuff, because he's really under pressure, GAVIRA, so he just has to lift the ball to give time. Can't play any quicker than that. Anything, 70–80%. The perimeter of court is at least going to cause pressure for the opposition. Semenov going for a little back set, but the back set is pretty poor. Semenov gives his partner a terrible look, like a big glare through the net. But also, it's probably not the right call to call a back set. The ball's not in front of LESHUKOV, and when you make a back set, yes, these players are world class, but it's much easier to play a back set with a bump set when the ball's in front of you and you can lift it over your head. LESHUKOV the target. Maybe there's a bit of room in this game yet. all of a sudden, Spain is starting to make digs. GAVIRA's making blocks on the front court and digs on the back court. He's playing phenomenally well. But that's a bit sloppy, really, from Spain, because the ball's gone high enough for one of them to get a touch on this one. Both really in no man's land. It's quite well disguised from LESHUKOV, but Spain get lucky. Looks like we're going to 3 here in The Hague.
Ladies on board, SEMENOV.
SEMENOV again, always poses a threat. Out of system that time, but ball's gone high. Great decision to make a dive into the block because it's hard to access the line from there, but SEMENOV does it very well. Short again on HERRERA. Seen that 2 or 3 times. Out of system, tries to shoot line this time. Goes flying out the back. 20-12. HERRERA struggled to side out throughout this game. Chips off of SEMENOV's block. And that's really the surprise of HERRERA GAVIRA. They are such a great side. They play to their strengths, which is looking at the court, hitting good angles, not making many errors. But where we saw the Latvians really play the 2-ball a lot. Out. We're going to a 3rd here anyway. The ball's gone far and wide. It's better from the Russians here. We go to a tiebreak to 15 points. HERRERA GAVIRA, well, they're inconsistent. LESHUKOV and SEMENOV have got all of the momentum here. After losing the first set 21-17, they've won the second here 21-13 as we go to 3.
Kings and queens of the beach, champions within reach. Let your love shine on, oh baby, let your sun shine through. Kings and queens of the beach, oh yeah, champions within reach.
Tiebreak, first to 15, changing ends every 5 points. HERRERA GAVIRA, well, they play a stable game of good ball control, high setting, good court vision. At the moment, it's not enough. Where we saw earlier on, Samoilovs and Smenins destroy SEMENOV by running the 2-ball, running the ball quicker to the antennas, really making it tough for the big man. They haven't done that as much, HERRERA GAVIRA. They have run the up and down ball and tried to knuckle short, chip short, try and make SEMENOV jump, block, land and turn. But SEMENOV is starting to find it easier and easier here. Through the middle, LESHUKOV. Look how fired up HERRERA is here, because he knows he's not having the game of his life, but that's a great start, and it's straight in the head of the Russian. Could this one turn around again? It doesn't take much for SEMENOV to start to get angry, and you'd think that the Spanish will look to put LESHUKOV under pressure. The younger player, and you know that when LESHUKOV doesn't fire, SEMENOV gets frustrated. That ball's out the back by a small distance. Quick feet to the ball from HERRERA. Chips line. looking for a touch, and that's where now they're trying to use the block of Semenov. Maybe setting a little bit further off the net. The further that Spain set the ball off the net, the less impact Semenov will have. So that's when they can start to work him, use him, and try and score. 2 missed serves in a row from Spain, sloppy stuff. Herrera. It's another error again, and he's not quite getting out on his approach. He's underneath the ball, so the arm doesn't come through. Same stuff. Sets well off the net as well, and it's something they're trying to do here, as we just mentioned. Something they're trying to do. Problem is that one's too far off the net, so the link between the setter and the spiker is not there. That's much better. So again, they go off the hands of Semenov. They're trying to work him hard. Leshukov gets shut down. That's a big point. Things are, in the grand scheme of things, starting to go the way of Spain here. They've got a clear game plan. It's working. Trying to work the block of Semenov. There's so many ways you can work the block, as we mentioned before. Trying to run the ball wide, trying to run the two ball, trying to beat him for speed and make him move long distances, or set off the net and go high. Leshukov again has been so much better in this game than the previous one. He's managing to hit the ball cross court with far more ease, and that's not easy. Hitting that angle from there. Quick feet, smooth arm. It's a fast pass from Herrera. Left the line open, Semenov. Semenov will be disappointed with himself there. Looks as if he was trying to take the line. It was just a little bit too far inside. And you give Herrera an inch, he will take it. He's drifting in the block. Leaves a little bit of line open. Again, you're looking at the differences between Semenov at the moment and an Andy Mole. Andy Mole is not giving the spiker anything. He's blocking superbly well. This thing about concentration, being able to watch the player and get your line and your timing. Lagging lines, left, right and centre, Leshukov. He's far happier. This is the happiest we've seen him in The Hague. Starting to find rhythm, starting to find control. It's, again, the wider set. And that's just been the difference. When the ball was run up and down in the semi-final, he just chipped back to the line. He couldn't get his feet out wide enough to come back in and create the angle with his approach to then hit cross-court. When you're facing the line, it's very hard to hit back across the court. Herrera, sorry, does it very well. Chance for GAVIRA on the left this time. And that's a thunderous blow. And look, he's trying to get the crowd on his side because they need it, Spain. It wasn't the second set that they wanted or needed, but they're coming good. They're working Semenov a little bit, and then they're trying to put a bit more pressure on the defender. Wide play again. Some scoop from GAVIRA. He's looking to the crowd to fire him up. And look what it does. The crowd are on their feet here in The Hague. GAVIRA, whether he's playing defense, siding out, he's just making points at every possible opportunity. He's off the net. It means that he can work around the block of Semenov again, and he hits that seam wonderfully well. Leshukov, it's again a wider set. Decision from the young left-sider. Left-side defenders himself. Artem Yarzukin, another one on the way up from Russia. He's very good. Vasilnikov, there's three phenomenal left-side defenders for Russia, all fighting the same spot. They've just gone off the net. They're setting so much further off the net, and it's working for them. Okay, they're going to have to fight hard here, Spain. Overhand defense, delightful. Oh, some rally, this one. Can you, Adrian Gavira? You've scored all day. No, he goes for the jumbo, but it's been read well from Russia. Oh, there's a tomahawk, one of the longest rallies of the day, this one. Put away from Spain, and it's that man again. He's out, passed out on the floor. Adrian Gavira, done for. Pablo Herrera, done for. Russia, Semenov. Leshukov absolutely cooked here in The Hague. Both teams having to rely on shooting the ball out of some exhaustion at times, but look at the skill on display. Gators, tomahawk defense, overhand stuff. These athletes giving it everything.
Ja, nou, zo krijgt ze natuurlijk nog wat tijd. En dan de slow-mo op tv nog wat tijd geven.
Pass is strong. It's going to be interesting to see who can recover first.
Look out.
Both teams searching for air. Halfway through this tie-break set. 1-point game. It's been close the whole way through. In beach volleyball, sometimes it's just about the matchup. This is a great matchup between the two teams. Play a style of beach volleyball that's very close compared to what we saw earlier. Highline's gone long. And then you talk about again how well the Latvians played running Semenov around. It's not been the same here. The Semenov has had a much easier game blocking.
Beautiful pick up on the snake.
Ball's caught inside, tries to move it back to the line, but he can't quite get his feet inside the ball there. LESHUKOV. That's a key point at this time of the game. They're going to serve LESHUKOV surely from that sideline again. They go to the outside, which should open up the angle, but he's passed so straight. It's really limited, but it's a great swing when you're in that situation. Again, they go high. Was it in or is it out? Well out. Testing the judgment of Ilya LESHUKOV. Remember, race to 15 for a medal. Semenov, when they do set tight Spain, they are in struggle town. Semenov makes another clamp here. Everything that's been set from Gavira to Herrera throughout this game has been another foot or two off the net to allow more angles around the block. As soon as you set tight, Semenov will take control. There you go, off the net. Different story. Line judge says in, Russia say out. The referee stays with the line judge. Russia are super unhappy here. Semenov unhappy, really? The ball mark usually tells a story, and that's why Russia are angry. They're saying the ball mark looked out. It's affecting Russia again. Spain can get under the skin of Semenov and LESHUKOV easily. And look, you can't see on your screen, but they're walking separate ways around the net. Spain jump into the angle late yet again. It's something that works so nicely for them in the first set, and they've changed the angle. They're serving across the body. of the Russian left sider at times and jumping back into the angle, and that's very clever because he's naturally got the angle where he can hit back cross court easier, and he knows he has to hit it. He knows in the last game he struggled. And there's an ace. They're up and down like an absolute yo-yo here, Russia. 11-all. 1 minute, they don't want to talk to each other. The next, they're celebrating like they've won the Olympics. Ball's getting caught in all sorts of trouble in the wind. HERRERA. LESHUKOV, again, patient in defense. Makes a great read. He just holds still, stays soft on the ball, and then manages to stay calm in offense and just steer it back to the line. And that's too good for HERRERA GAVIRA. It's not often you say that. It's too smooth, it's too accurate. HERRERA GAVIRA, who were in control just a moment ago when GAVIRA was trying to charge the crowd up. Now GAVIRA's not trying to charge the crowd up at all. GAVIRA desperately trying to keep HERRERA with him throughout this closing stage. It's been intriguing, and it's been very much contrasting from what we saw earlier. Both teams playing much better, much improved, but now who can deliver at these clutch moments? It's a better pass from HERRERA. Could be a good timeout. This is a good timeout. Again, the ball's set off the net, and when the ball's off the net, they could look to try and use the block. SEMENOV, a great timeout. It's a great swing from HERRERA. It's a very good timeout because the serve was a little bit softer from Russia. It allowed Spain a chance to get the pass in. Now they have a defense as well. This one is turning around again. It's a little cut shot, but it's delightfully dug from LESHUKOV, who then goes for glory. And he tries to swing at a ball that's not really there. It's too low. It never got high enough from SEMENOV, but yet he still tries to score a winner. Frustration. The body language of the Russian pair is quite amusing to watch on its own. 2 in a row from Spain at a very crucial time. LESHUKOV this time. Will he go to the line? Yes, he will, but there's a massive block waiting for him, and they know where to go when they need one. HERRERA, his experience and the body language is different of the Spanish. They've been calm the whole way through. Russia have been up and down all the time. They serve him inside, he goes back to the line. They serve him to the sideline, he hits angle. Bronze medal point, LESHUKOV out of system. Oh, what a rally this one is already. It's a free net, but SEMENOV is scampering everywhere trying to keep it alive. A second chance for Spain to take bronze. It's a high line, and to go with that high line from GAVIRA is a bronze medal for Spain. They took the bronze medal in 2009 in Sochi in Russia, and now they've taken a bronze medal away from Russia again, but this time from SEMENOV and his new partner Ilya LESHUKOV. It's the second bronze medal in history to go with their gold from Klagenfurt in 2013. It's the first time they have medalled in a European Championship since then, and it's a very good showing after losing earlier on in the semi-final. Delight for HERRERA, GAVIRA. Although they're evergreen, it still means so much for them to win medals for Spain. HERRERA, GAVIRA upset the Russians. The Russians can still be proud of their performance. Semenov still passing advice on to LESHUKOV. The future is bright for the young Russian defender. For Russia, well, it's their second bronze medal. Sorry, there's 15-12 in the final set. Bronze goes to HERRERA, GAVIRA. LESHUKOV and Semenov unfortunately have to settle for a fourth.
The summer is here and it's going to stay. Celebrating life is the only way. Let your love shine on. Let your sun shine through. Kings and queens of the beach. Champions within reach. Let your love shine on. Oh, baby. Let your sun shine through. Kings and queens of the beach. Oh, yeah. Champions within reach. Let your love shine on. Let your love shine. Let your sun shine through. Kings and queens of the beach. Oh, yeah, baby. Champions within reach.
Spain take bronze here in The Hague, but who will win gold? Latvia or Norway? Please, please, please don't go anywhere. Is that team in your picture that take the bronze medal? HERRERA, GAVIRA. But Latvia and Norway is on its way here in The Hague. But from us, for now, for just a few moments, it's goodbye from Zuida Park. But we have more action coming your way very, very soon.